I met this person recently and I look at his life. I know for sure that I can't be in that space. Like I can't fit into that kind of lifestyle. It's not a bad thing. I feel like that is who he is.
Yeah.
But it's okay for me to just say this is not what I want.
Yeah.
But I feel like
you can deal with.
Yeah, but I feel like with so much pressure, a lot of persons could just say, okay, I mean,
it's not
he
that
has
bad.
the money, you know, he has the look, and you know what's even tricky? He actually has the kind of figure that I would want my dream guy to be.
Vanity.
You know, he has that. But I mean, if I didn't have my priorities in check, I would just jump into it. Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. It's Bedroom Diaries time again, and of course, you know it's your beautiful girl Daniela Bold. Better, bold, everything with all the spice. And of course, Tandy. She's picking the vibe already.
Okay, all right.
Okay, guys. Well, before we get into today's topic, you already know how it is. I'm always going to start with a question or a tease, all of that. Do people really get into relationships for just getting into relationships, or like, you know,
vibes and inshallah?
Yeah, like, you know,
they do that a lot.
They do that a lot, right?
These days, there's a lot of that. Even with the ones that think, oh, they're in a committed relationship, there's still vibes and inshallah inside.
Yeah.
So I think that's even becoming like a norm that people are getting accustomed to. I know this thing where, oh, you want to date in Lagos, forget it.
I hear that
but
a lot.
A lot of times you can just term these kinds of relationships as casual relationships, or no commitment, but we're just situationships,
you know,
and things like that. Yeah.
I mean, put it down in the comment section if you've ever seen yourself in all of that space before.
Unless you want to deceive yourself, I think we've all been in one kind of. We didn't know how we got there, but one day we just realized,
this is a situation.
This is a situation.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Okay, but then this brings us to what we're talking about today. What should be on your priority list? And of course, it's a continuation from our commitment series. Yes, if you've not seen that, go back. I mean, we'll wait for you, literally. We're here. Yeah. So go back and watch it. And of course, if you're just seeing us on your screen for the first time, this is Bedroom Diaries. Everything love, and more love. Okay, should I go first or you? I mean, priority list.
Come on.
Oh, okay.
Start with what's on your priority list before you get into a committed relationship.
With the way I have it right here on my screen. Number one, I feel like you need to be matured, like the matured mind, because I don't see a reason why I should want to commit to a relationship when, I mean, what are we going to be discussing? What are we going to be doing in the relationship? I would just get into the relationship because, I mean, you know, there's this pressure to get into a relationship, all of that. So why should I commit to you? I feel like you need to be matured upstairs.
And intelligent.
Yeah, that's basically it.
#sapiosexual. They're abusing that term. They're already abusing that term. Any small thing. Oh, I'm sapiosexual.
Right.
But yeah, it's actually a thing whereby you cannot actually get attracted to anybody if they're not intelligent.
Yeah.
So if I cannot talk to you or have like a decent conversation with you, is then like, what are we doing? And that kind of thing. So yeah, I think I agree with you on that, really.
Because like I said, before we just started, I said, do people just get into relationships because... I mean, why should you want to get into a relationship? I mean, you need to. I feel like there's this whole pressure. If you've not watched the episode on the effect of social media, I feel like you need to watch that, because I feel like there's this whole pressure about, you know, dating and wanting to be in a relationship that
almost like if you're not in a relationship, there's something wrong with you.
Yeah, and then we
that kind of thing.
Sort of forget the real reason why we should want to commit.
People shouldn't just jump into relationships for the sake of, oh, I want to be in a relationship. I just want to call this person my boyfriend or my girlfriend. Because at the end of the day, that's not what's going to take you to the next level. You cannot say, okay, I'm going to get married because, oh yeah, you know how these things go. You don't get to the point of marriage and then you're looking like, how did I even get here? It's not like I actually planned this thing. And then, anyway, it just spirals down the drain from then.
Exactly.
But there are... Of course, before anybody chooses to get committed into a relationship, right, they have to be intentional about it. They have to decide, this is actually what I want to do. This is what I want from this relationship. This is what I want to achieve with this relationship or with this person. And I think even regardless of whether or not you want to look at it from your perspective on what you want with that relationship, you also have to consider what the other person wants, because you're not going to be the only person in that relationship anyway. And of course, you also should not disregard what it is that you're going to be getting from it. So besides the basic need of wanting to have a companion, of course, maybe there could be a situation whereby, oh yeah, I feel lonely and all of that. Yeah, maybe being in a relationship can help with that. But you might then end up wasting somebody's time if you are not in the right space of mind to be in that kind of relationship.
Secure mind.
Yeah, that pretty much a secure mind.
Secure mind.
And if it doesn't go both ways, then you both are just deceiving yourselves, because it just ends up being a surface level kind of relationship, if you know what I'm talking about. I think I've had one or two of sorts or something like that.
That's my experiences.
It ends up being terrible, honestly. I have to say. So first, if I'm going to get into a committed relationship with anybody, all right, I need to pretty much just look at it. Okay, why am I getting into this relationship? Is it that I'm bored? Is it that I just want to have someone by my side? Is it because I just want to be gisting with someone every night? Is it because pretty much just things we need to sit down, think about these things one by one before we jump inside, so we end up not wasting our time or anybody's time.
And while you're just talking about that, I just picture the whole value thing. Like the word value just came into my imagination, and I'm thinking, we all grew up, from different backgrounds and all of that. So if I have to commit to someone, there has to be the whole value, like what's your value out of life? Like that has to relate. I think our values,
see life?
Our value needs to align together, because that is, I feel like at some point, the way you see life, the way I see life sort of just helps us build the relationship. Because there are times where, we're in a committed relationship, and there are times where our balance may just, life may just throw us off balance. But then our values, the way we see life sort of just helps us hold the relationship together.
In terms of how you solve conflicts, how you pretty much just spend time together, how you see the most basic things and things like that. If those things are able to align, it does save a lot of people's stress, because otherwise there'll be clash.
Because I see a lot of these things, especially with social media, right? I see, let me use myself as an example. I met this person recently, and I look at his life. I know for sure that I can't be in that space. Like I can't fit into that kind of lifestyle. It's not a bad thing. I feel like that is who he is. But it's okay for me to just say, this is not what I want. But I feel like you can deal with. But I feel like with so much pressure, a lot of persons could just say, okay,
it's not that
he has
bad.
The money, he has the look, and you know what's even tricky? He actually has the kind of figure that I would want my dream guy to be.
Vanity.
He has that. But if I didn't have my priorities in check, I would just jump into it. And there's a lot of pressure like that. Like, he's good looking, he has the money and all of that. We just jump into it, and without even thinking about, do our lifestyle match? Do we value the same things out of life?
In one room for like a week.
Like
we'll be fine.
You get that kind of thing. Yeah, so that's the essence with value. Like I'm going to obviously question your value, how you see life, all of that. I'm going to definitely question that, because it's important to me.
Yeah, and also, value has like different meanings. I was actually thinking you were going to mention that in terms of the value of the relationship itself.
That's true.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, that's
so
true.
The value of the relationship itself, in that, what is the person offering you and what are you offering the person?
Right.
Because, like I said before, it actually goes beyond what the person is going to give you. What you're also going to give the person also matters in whether or not you're going to commit with the person, because that person as well has to make that decision of, oh yes, I want to commit with this person as well, the person being you, of course. So if you by yourself are not giving any form of value to the relationship, or as people say it now, what are you bringing to the table?
That's
caused all the fights everywhere. But it's actually it's actually true.
If you think about
Think
it,
about
it.
it. What are you bringing to the table? It doesn't have to do with money per se.
Yeah, it's not.
It doesn't
It's
have to
not,
do with
literally.
money. But what are you actually bringing? What value are you bringing to that person? Do you light up that person's world to some extent? So things like that are things that you should consider from your perspective and from the other person's perspective as well.
Right.
That's how I see value, really.
So let's go straight into character. I was I reading or listening to? Okay, yeah, I was listening to a lady on YouTube, and she's talking about how character plays a long role in committed relationship. Now, in this case, she's talking about your relationship with Christ, but I could relate it to my relationship with, whether it's my sibling or, relationship, whatever. But I feel like character plays a long role. For example, just for an instance, you get into a restaurant with your, person, your partner, and your partner is treating the waiter or the waitress in some sort of way, and you for sure know that that's not your kind of person. Right?
It doesn't just look humane.
It does, and it doesn't even look good on the relationship because it now feels like, so if your partner can do this, then
what can he do to you,
if
you were in a different setting?
Or that means you can also do that if you're tolerating that, right? Yeah. So
if you're tolerating it, says a lot about you.
Yeah. Yes. So character obviously plays a big role when it comes to committed relationships. And I'm going to go deep into commitments where you're talking about marriage, right? And now two of you are in marriage together. Marriage with the whole society thing, when you get married, you're obviously expected to now have kids, right? So now when you now have kids, it's sort of like you're transferring who you are into that next generation. So you want to
pretty much changes a lot of things.
Yeah, you want to be so specific about the character of the person that you are in a relationship with or you are committed to, because it tells a lot.
Yeah,
it tells a lot about you, and then it now plays on your personality. I feel like they're two different things, but they sort of go hand in hand, because this is your character, and then this is how it plays in you as like your personality.
Also, I've actually found, or I've observed that in relationships, for some reason, both of you start acting the same way at some point.
Yeah.
That's true. Acting the same way at some point. So there's some character traits that you pretty much just subconsciously pick up from nowhere. If it's negative, you just you don't know how it happens. It just happens. Perhaps it's from being in the same space with the person for a long time, and you just imbibe it, positive or negative.
Right.
So if it's then negative, it then affects almost every other thing else, in your workplace or pretty much just outside how you relate with your family. That kind of attitude can affect other things. If it's positive, that's good, of course, it's positive. But then we are now looking at the negative parts, because it's those negative parts that if you see and overlook, there'll definitely be problems. But your personality and your character should actually align with whomever you want to commit to, because you're going to be spending a lot of time together.
Right. Yeah.
And definitely, I don't know, there's this guy I was with at some point. We'd spend some time together. We wouldn't fight or argue or anything, maybe because I was just laid back about the whole thing. But I realized that, I actually don't like being in this guy's space. Why? Because he constantly does something that I don't like.
Right.
And I just keep looking at it, because it's not something that would actually affect me deeply, but I can see it and it annoys me. And I wouldn't say a lot of things, but I know it's there, right? And then I step out of that space and I feel drained.
Right.
So that kind of thing is...
That's not a good sign. That's not a good space.
It's not a good sign.
Yeah.
You can't ignore it. And because of that, I couldn't get committed to that guy. I would just be in his space and I would see, one more. And this is all round, he's a good guy, but that I can't overlook it.
Yeah.
So I could not take a step into saying, I want to be committed to you. So it's pretty much we see some of these things, we term them red flags, really. But then some of
some of us just go as far as being comfortable with these red flags. We're pointing it out to you and
right. So with those, I saw the red flags, but that's like some 3 years down the line after you saw that you got married to somebody else. Anyway.
Look, these things sort of, they're just deep. And while you're talking, you're talking about being in that space and you're saying that is obviously not what you want. I remember being in a relationship with this guy, and he sort of just made me start thinking deep about what I wanted for life, what's my focus with life. That kind of relationship, it would help me, it would build me.
Yeah.
So now his character, like you just said, it's whether it's positive or it's negative, his character right now is now positively affecting me, and I want to be in that space. I want to now grow more. I'm going straight into my next point, their focus in life.
Yeah. Before you get into the focus in life, I think even with the whole same space kind of thing, speaking in that line, and then the personality and character, I know, like, if you're not comfortable in the same space with someone, then there will definitely be issues. Because in terms of, this person is honest, this person is hardworking, this person is this and that, and all the good things there are. But the moment you're in the same space and you're not comfortable, and more importantly, as we've said a lot of times, comfortable enough to express yourself, pretty much just communicating with the person, comfortable enough to express yourself, right? That is a sign that you cannot get committed to that person. I wouldn't say, this is what you should do and what you should not do. But once you're with someone and you're not 100% comfortable, it's not something that is going to happen immediately you meet. It would take some time. But you would know from the start that, I'm in this person's space. Nah. It cannot happen.
In the first place, I mean, commitment should be deep, and you should be comfortable when you're committed.
Yeah, it cannot happen. So that's before you get into the focus and all of that thing. I just wanted to add that.
So I mean, just like I said now, if you have to be committed, I mean, commitment is obviously deep. You're going deeper into you're passing the whole dating phase, and you're going deep into the relationship. So if it's not comfortable, if you're not comfortable there, and comfortable doesn't mean that it's all going to be rosy.
No, of course
no, that's not what it means. But being able to be in your partner's space, enjoy the space, grow in the space, do all of that. That means a lot. So I'm going to now dive into their focus in life. I am one person who, I think I've said it here on Bedroom Diaries before. If I have to be in a relationship with you, I sort of don't want to get into the relationship just because I want to be in a relationship. There has to be a focus. There has to be where is it leading to. And yes, not all relationship will lead to marriage. Not all relationship will lead to marriage.
But they said the major idea of getting into a relationship is to have that at the back of your mind.
Yeah, it should be. I mean, it's a good thing. It's a good thing, but not all will lead there. But
realistically, yes.
Focus in life. I think that's like very important for me. As of me, I have like so doing Bedroom Diaries. Like, okay, so I already have like a pattern with my career and where I want to see myself in like 5 years. So if I have to be in a relationship with you, I need to now know, okay, so where you heading to?
Yeah, what are your goals? Are there stuff that you want to achieve?
And most times it might not align to what I'm doing, but it complements.
Yeah.
I'm going to go deep into a conversation I had with someone very close to me. And this conversation is like, okay, so this is my career, right? And what are you doing? Because I know that with my career, it's like, look, our life is centered around this career. So if I have to be with someone, if I have to get married, I have to be in a committed relationship with you, then you need to understand, your career has to align with mine.
Yeah.
Because
there are some people that actually say, I cannot date this profession.
Yeah.
And that's because this is what their schedule usually looks like. And I can't deal with it. That kind of thing. So, I think that makes a lot of sense because you don't want to be with someone that you have to keep asking, when next time am I going to see you? You don't know when next you're going to see the person because the person is always busy or the person is always surrounded around the opposite sex and it bothers you and things like that.
Yeah.
So, of course, and also I find that for you to actually, I don't know, it's just me. I can't be with someone that does not have realistic goals and is actively working towards it. It's, in a nutshell, it's like, I can't be with a lazy man.
Right.
And these days, nobody wants to be with a lazy woman anyway. Nobody.
Is it these days or it has always been?
Everyone is hustling at this point. Everyone is hustling. I think that's even kind of like even connected to the whole, money must be inside the whole thing.
I'm coming to that point. You already know. That's my Bible bedroom diaries.
So yeah, having goals that to some extent align or complement each other or pretty much do not clash. Because once, the way our lives are now as human beings, our personal lives and our career, family and all of that, they kind of find a way to complement each other. They morph into each other. And yeah, it's not something that you can say, he's going to be doing or she's going to be doing their thing on their own, and it wouldn't make a lot of sense. There are some things that people cannot deal with. Of course, there are also people that believe, whatever he's doing, it has to be on his own and things like that. But but then you understand what works for you and what doesn't. But you cannot ignore the fact that what the person wants from life and wants to do with his or her life has to complement you as well and what you're okay with. The most basic example, you cannot go and date someone as a fraudster. Especially, I'm speaking for myself. I can't go and say,
I was going to say, like, speak for yourself.
Yeah, I can't go and say, I'm going to be in a committed relationship with a fraudster. I'll constantly be looking over my shoulder, like things like that. So you also have to keep in mind, this person's life is going to be, to some extent, pretty much joined to mine.
Yes. It's like you said earlier, like you see yourself start behaving somehow like your partner.
Yeah. So you can't run from a lot of these things unless you want to say you're deceiving yourself that you're in a committed relationship with somebody. Yeah. You can't run away from some of these things.
Right. So I mean, because if you're in a committed relationship, you want to be able to get a lot of this whole commitment thing. I feel like a lot of persons play around it. Because there's a lot to think about. Because if you feel like you're in a committed relationship, this table is obviously shaking. If you feel like you're in a committed relationship and you've never sat down to think of all of these things and how it plays a major role in your life, excuse me, that's not a committed relationship. No. It's a what? What do we call it? Situationship.
Maybe.
Right, yeah.
Maybe. But I feel like these days a lot of people are deceiving themselves in terms of what they believe to be a committed relationship. Because I believe people just think, once the sexual part is fine and we're not fighting, everything is okay. But then there are a lot of things that actually play their part in committed relationships, which is also kind of related to, before you get into a committed relationship, does the other person also want to get into a committed relationship? Because you have different situations whereby, this person agrees to being in this relationship with you because you want it. And it doesn't want to seem like, we've been seeing each other for 2-3 months now and they do not want to commit, that there's a problem somewhere. Meanwhile, you're not in the headspace, or that person is not in the headspace for it. So I think that when people are, in quotes, shooting their shots and trying to get with someone or get really serious with someone, they should also keep in mind that, man, don't pressure anybody.
Right.
Regardless of what it is that you want or what you're looking for or what is already before you and you believe this is it, the other person might be thinking something different. Which is why I think we talked about communicating and defining exactly what it is you want in a relationship. And having a situation whereby you are both on the same page in terms of committing, because you guys are not playing anymore. You're going to be responsible for a lot of things at this point.
Exactly.
So you have to pretty much be sure that, yes, this is what he wants, this is what she wants, and this is also what I want. And then, let's go into it. Let's
change the next
and
gear.
Conquer the world.
So I'm going to, for me, I cannot date you if we're not friends. That's
Friendship
on my
thing.
priority list.
Friendship.
Friendship. See. I've had personal experiences where a guy meets me and the next thing he's saying, "Oh, let's date. Let's get into." I know I've talked about this on one of our episodes, and I was saying I met this guy, and the next thing he's saying, "Oh, I think we should travel. I feel we should travel next year. Like, what do you think?" And in my head, I'm like, "What do you know about me?"
Yeah.
When we're together, like, what's the vibe like? Are we friends? Can I tell you a lot of things? Can we just talk about? Can I tell you your head is big and then you laugh and then you laugh about it?
Someone said the love language of Nigerian women is insult.
I know, right?
Actually, if I'm not able to tell you that you're mad, then there's a problem. If I cannot insult you comfortably, it cannot work.
Because I mean, if I'm seeing you're coming out of the bathroom, I'm like, I see your big heads, all those kind of thing. If I cannot be comfortable, can I tell you that and you're okay with it? Yeah. So friendship is
very key.
It's key for me. We have to be friends.
Yes, just like money is key for you.
Yes, we're going to talk about that. We're definitely going to talk about that. I feel like I don't want to say money is like a priority, but how I would shape it is, what's your relationship with money?
Yeah, that's an euphemistic way to put it.
But that's just what it is. I'm not saying you should like have all the money in the world, even though that's a plus.
Yes, it would be nice.
But it would be nice. But what's your, like, logically, what's your relationship with money? How do you see money? Is it, we're in a relationship, right? Mm-hmm. How is the relationship going to thrive? Like, we also need money for basic stuff,
Like vacations.
And but let's be real.
Bone straight and stuff like that.
Now I'm bald, so you don't have to really bother about the whole bone straight thing. For a while, I think you need to be bothered about the bag and the perfume. But money plays a big role.
Yeah.
It does play a big role.
It plays a big role in life, generally. Mm-hmm. I think it's not something that we can actually stop talking about. Yeah. Because money, life, relationships, love, when money enter, love is sweeter. Finish. That's pretty much just it. Right. Like, there's no two way about it.
Mm-hmm. Because, I feel like there are times where you need to now start, how they say you have to, compromise when you're in the relationship. Imagine if you have money. There's some kind of situations where be like, babe, I want to travel. Just for an instance, babe, I want to travel, but I have 1 point something. I just need 2 million. And you have the money. You just compromise at that point. You see why it's important. You get what I'm saying? So, but I wanted, before we got started shooting, you talked about sacrifices. I wanted you to throw more light on that.
Yeah, I think there are times that one does not necessarily say, okay, we're in a committed relationship. For some reason, you just know that you are, to some extent. And one of it is that, okay, you're already going out of your way for this person. This person needs this. Okay. And you find yourself racing around, how do I solve this problem? How do I meet this need of this person? And you're already making sacrifices in the relationship. You are telling yourself no in order to some extent, please that person. Not in an unhealthy way, because there's...
Thank you. I already just had that at the back of my mind. I'm like, let's not mislead these people. We have to say it.
Not in an unhealthy
way.
Yeah, but there are times where I'm actually, the first thing I'm thinking about is, I'm doing this, how does it affect the other person? I probably shouldn't do this because, it's not going to sit well with this other person. But we already know there is a line between pleasing someone and hurting yourself and actually doing something for the pleasure of someone else, and it also satisfies you because, of course, you want to see that person happy.
Right.
So that's pretty much just what I meant. Once you see that you're already sacrificing for each other, you're getting this and this done for the other person and stuff like that, you just know. There are some things that you do not do for random people.
Yeah.
There are some things. True. I was going to give a small example. I didn't know how you feel about it. And some things I want to do for you, I'll do for my man.
Right.
So that's it.
Right.
One
True.
small example is I'm not a big hugger.
Oh.
I'm not. I don't know if you've noticed, but I'm not a big
Yes,
hugger.
I know, I noticed.
I do not hug people. But when it comes to my guy, more.
She's gonna go.
More. So yeah, just little things like that. You see these things when it's already happening. Someone said, "Oh, by the time I'm texting and I'm shining my teeth too much on my phone, I know I'm finished." That is it. And things like once you get it,
once you get to that point,
they've gotten you, and that is just it. There's nothing you can do about
You're
it anymore.
in love.
You're inside.
You're committed to it. but I know when you were talking about commitment and when you said, of course, from a healthy space, I just want to call this out, like call you out on this. If you ever see yourself having to sacrifice and do a lot of things for this person that you obviously like, make sure that it's coming from a place of, I genuinely like this person, and does this person actually like me that much? You need to think about it.
Do it from a place of love, really. A lot of the times, people do not even... They don't give back.
Right.
You can't blame them for not giving back. But you yourself, are you doing it just for the sake of let them see that I love them? Or you're actually doing it from the, like my brother would say, the bottom of your heart. Yeah, something like that.
But I mean, we obviously want to know what you think about sacrifices, making sacrifices. How the question should be, what big sacrifice have you ever made in your relationship? I mean, let me see. Let's see it in the comment section. Just put it down there. I want to see it. We want to see it. Other people want to see it as well. With the whole commitment thing.
Hold on, before you go into that, is there like any ridiculous sacrifice you did for someone that you know? For sure.
I probably would just tell you. I don't know. I can't really think about it, but But I'm sure I've done
ridiculous things,
crazy stuff. But I mean, put that in the comment section if you've obviously done that, because I can't really think of that. But with the whole commitment thing, like I said earlier, commitment is deeper. Like you're getting into a deeper relationship away from the dating space, because dating, like I said in a previous episode, you're just basically just going out and you're just seeing this person.
Yeah.
But commitment is, look,
this is getting serious.
With the popular saying that they say, we die here.
Yeah.
Like we're here. It is deep. It is. It's not just something
we're not playing anymore.
We're not playing anymore. So before you even commit to all of these things, think about them. If you've never thought about them before, I feel like this is the right time to start doing it, because I mean, relationships shouldn't be something that it's just we're just in a relationship. I mean, we're just seeing each other.
For children, no.
So it's deeper. It's way deeper.
Yeah.
I feel like we've said all of that, but if you feel like we left something out, put it in the comment section. We would really love to read it, hear from you, or what's on your priority list. What is that one thing, 2 things, 5 things that you would definitely think about before getting into getting into a relationship? Yeah, basically.
And that's that for this episode on Bedroom Diaries in terms of love, and more love.
And more love. Love portion.
Like, share, subscribe, and of course, the notification button. Put that so you do not forget. Follow us on Instagram at Bedroom Diaries. That's it.
Yeah, and of course, we will not fail to let you know that you can send in if you have like questions, all of that, you have personal experiences, and you want us to feature that on Bedroom Diaries, send us an email just on the email on your screen, all of that, and it'll also be in the description box. So yeah, and that's it on this episode. We love you so much. Thank you. And of course, to all our amazing subscribers, thank you. We see you. Keep it coming.
Keep sharing.
Yeah. Thank you. See you on the next one.
Bye.